And happy Friday! Yeah! Half Day Friday! Woohoo! Yeah. All right. It's been a long week. Your teachers have had a long week meeting with parents during conferences. You guys have been amazing all week long. So today we kind of get to cap off the week with an awards ceremony, an award celebration for some of our friends who are sitting out here in the crowd today. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Mr. Olmsted, and he's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So here you go.
Thank you, Mr. Juarez. I'd like everybody to notice the beautiful flag we now have that's up there. That was paid for by our school. So would you be so kind as to stand, everybody, with your hats off while we do the pledge? And I'll wait till it's very quiet for us to begin. Thank you. Ready, begin. Stands one nation. Thank you.
Alrighty, great job, boys and girls. That was a really nice Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, so we are going to start this morning off. The last assembly we had was our first time giving academic awards, so we're going to go ahead and start with our academic awards. Now, when we give out the academic awards, we're going to call kinder, first, and second, and we're going to have them line up all right here, and then when that last second grader comes up, we'll give them all a round of applause. And then we'll start with third, fourth, and fifth for those academic awards. Okay? But in between, we want to celebrate those individuals. Can somebody raise their hand and tell me, how do we celebrate those people when we call their names? Right here. Go ahead, sweetie. Yeah, today is the other, or was that yesterday? That might have been yesterday. Dahlia, how do we celebrate those people? With a silent celebration, right? Everybody show me your silent celebration. Woo, there we go. That is a perfect silent celebration. So, we are going to get started with our academic awards. All right, so we're going to start with Kinder Bridge and Kinder. I went to Mrs. How do you say it? Okay, all right. Our very first one is from Mrs. Mosbar's class, Liliana Kauser. From Mrs. Simpson's class, Tristan Thomas. From Mrs. Scutts, Christian Regenball. From Mrs. Haber, Emily Carmona. From Mrs. Wilson's class, Isabella Manriquez. In first grade, from Mrs. Davis's class, Alina Valencia. From Mrs. McMean's class, Janelle Barragan. From Mrs. Stone's, Giovanni Pulido. From Mrs. Cervani's, Noah Mojica. In second grade, from Mrs. Oliveira's class, Ana Barreto. From Mrs. Gress's class, Elia Marquez. From Mrs. Murphy's class, Jarrett Larios. From Mrs. Kruger's class, Brooke Perez. From Mrs. Bryant's class, Ivan Hinojosa. All right. Come on up. And that is it for our second grade. So we're going to wait until they all are up here, and then we'll give them, let's go ahead and give them a round of applause. Kindergartner, first grade, and second. Great job. So I was just, for my 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, we were talking about surveys and how no one's perfect. I apologize. This is not the academic award. This is the character award. Okay? So, these are our kindergarten through 2nd grade character award winners for the character trait of respect. Okay? So, let's give them a round of applause for being respectful. Alrighty, go ahead and have a seat, guys. Kindergarten or 1st grade, you guys up here, you guys can go ahead and go back to your class. Alright, so, voices off please. We're just going to continue. Oh wait. I know the Moxee Mustang is here and everyone's excited. So everybody go ahead and wave at the Mustang. Woo! Alright, so we are going to continue with our character awards since we already did those and Mr. Waters made a mistake. We all make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes as long as we learn from them, right? Okay, so we're going to start with 3rd grade. From Mrs. Fuentes' class, Carlos Suarez. From Mrs. Morales' class, Colby Van Klinken. From Mrs. 70's class, Hayden Figueroa. And from Mrs. Waters' class, Cleo Kambala. Silent celebration. Silent celebration. All right, from 4th grade, Mrs. Inquist, Melissa Renteria. From Ms. Tijade's class, Reynaldo Gomez. From Mrs. Benton's court class, Giovanni Mosqueda. And from Mrs. Buchanan's class, Noah Ramos. That is 4th grade. Now we're going to move on to 5th. From Mrs. Manrique's class, Bea Gonzalez. From Mr. Olmstead's class, Noah Kaufman. From Mrs. Alexander's class, Emily Blair. From Mrs. Estrada's class, Rowdy Sharp. And from Mrs. Rodriguez's class, Aiden Valencia. And from Mrs. Sanders' class, Gabriel Pimentel. Alrighty, let's go ahead and give them a round of applause for our 3rd through 5th graders. Great job, everyone. Okay, you guys can go ahead and head back to your seats. Alright, now, we have these lovely gold trophies up here, but I'm going to make you guys wait for these. These are going to be at the end, after our academic award. I know you guys are all dying to know who got the golden pig, right? So, now we're going to move on, and I need everybody to go ahead and stand up. And I need my leadership, 5th grade leadership, come on up to the front. And I need Mrs. McMean to the front. 5th grade leadership kiddos, come on up to the front. And our leadership kids are going to lead us in our stank chant.
My friends, can we give a silent celebration for our leadership kids? Oh yeah, they are awesome. And remember, if it were you up here, how would you want to be treated? So let's make sure that, yeah, good, right? So we gotta make sure that we do the motions with us. Okay, leadership, are you ready to say it with me? Okay. We are Moxee. We are Moxee. The mighty, mighty Mustang. These are the traits. Okay, leadership, you gotta say it. What do we say first? Team player. And the harmony keeper. Team minded. Neighborly. Keep moving on. Siga moviendo. These are the traits. School, what do we say to our leadership? Woohoo!
Thank you, Miss McMean, and thank you, leadership. Great job, everyone. All right, go ahead and have a seat. All right, boys and girls, as the rest of our leadership kiddos are sitting down, I need you guys to kind of listen. Now we're gonna do the academic award, okay? Now, in order to receive an academic award, we wanna celebrate kiddos in our class that have accomplished something that maybe they've never done, and it could be different for every person that is up here. But we wanted to recognize that hard work that we're doing in class for our friends who have accomplished something that is amazing. Okay, so in order to achieve or be nominated for an academic award, we need to keep working hard in class, and when things are hard, we need to keep working and persevering, so that way, one, we get what we're learning, but also maybe we can get an award. All right, so without further ado, now we're gonna do the academic award. We're going to do it the same way, kinder through second. In between, we're going to do our silent celebrations, and then we're going to do it third through fifth. All right, in Kinder Bridge, Zoe Garcia from Mrs. Mosbars. In Mrs. Simpson's class, Jackson Cameron. Mrs. Scutts, Aaliyah Garcia. In Mrs. Haber, Marcos Gonzalez. And from Mrs. Wilson, Leah Sanchez. These guys are either counting to 100 and are recognizing their letters. Great job, kindergarten. All right, first grade. Stop. All right, we also have Adonis in kindergarten from Mrs. Bryant's class. Yeah, great job, Adonis. All right, in first grade from Mrs. Davis's class, Desmond Blair. From Mrs. McMean's class, Martel Gonzalez. From Mrs. Stone's class, Aiden Uribe. And from Mr. Shervani's, Kyler Robillard. These guys are motivated and they're persevering. Oh, there's that word again, persevering. In their classrooms, great job, first graders. In second grade, from Mrs. Oliveira's class, Hennessy Perez. From Mrs. Gress's class, Jordan Worrell. From Mrs. Murphy's class, Khalid Wishwell. And from Mrs. Kruger's class, Itzel Herrera. Great job, second graders. These guys are doing amazing work in math and in reading. They're persevering as well. Great job, second grade. So let's go ahead and give kindergarten through second grade a round of applause. Great job, everyone. Go ahead and have a seat. All right, I know it's cold in here, but Mr. Wires is sweating for some reason. I don't know why, but it's getting warm. All right, now 3rd through 5th. From Mrs. Fuentes' class, Paige Rebel. From Mrs. Morales' class, Carly Wehunt. From Mrs. 70's class, Elbury Roybal. From Mrs. Waters' class, Natalie Medina. These guys are working on multiplication and have mastered some of their multiplication facts. Great job, 3rd grade. 4th grade, Mrs. Inquist, Cameron Barthel. From Mrs. Tejades, Tegan Critchlow. From Mrs. Betancourt, Ryland Gonzalez. From Mrs. Buchanan's, Abigail Perez. These guys are motivated in learning their Spanish and as well as crushing their iReady reading goals and math goals. So great job, 4th grade. In 5th grade, Noah Seja from Mrs. Manrique's class. From Mr. Olmsted's class, Antonio Rojas. From Mrs. Alexander's class, Jackson Holden. From Mrs. Estrada's class, Chloe Schmitz. And from Mrs. Rodriguez's class, Daisy Camarena. These guys they have positive attitudes towards learning hard things, and they're meeting their reading and AR goals. So great job, 5th grade. We also have one more from Mrs. Sanders' class that was missed in the last group, and I apologize to Joel Mosbar for a 2nd grade. All right, so Joel, come on up, buddy, for your academic achievement award. All right, let's go ahead and give these guys a round of applause. Great job, everyone. All right, go ahead and have a seat. Now, on to the coveted golden trophies. If you guys haven't noticed, we have some new ones. So last year, we started with the golden dustpan. Now, we have the golden ukulele. We also have Pepe the pig. And we have the golden book. All right. Now, for our character class awards for this month, which is respect, going back to the very first awards we handed out, for respectful behavior in specialist, and for the cleanest classroom, we'll go ahead and start with the golden book, which is, can somebody guess what specialist that is? Library, right? Oh my gosh, you guys are so smart. All right, for the golden book award, we have Mrs. Buchanan's class. Congratulations, Mrs. Buchanan's class. Let's go ahead and give them a round of applause. Now, for Pepe the pig, PE, what? Pepe the pig is from PE? Well, cafeteria is going to get one, but Pepe the pig is from PE, and for showing respect in PE, we have Mrs. Estrada's class. Congratulations, Mrs. Estrada's class. Woo! Come on up. Yeah. Now, the golden ukulele. Alrighty, voices off. The golden ukulele is from music, and for showing respect in music is Mrs. Oliveira's class. Congratulations, Mrs. Oliveira's class. Congratulations, Mrs. Oliveira's class. Now, the golden dustpan. So, we had to make a new golden dustpan this year because the other one walked away somewhere. So keep your eyes out for the other golden dustpan if you find it. So, this year for the golden dustpan is Miss Waters' class. Congratulations, Mrs. Waters. All right, so we have one more special treat for you. I almost forgot. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and pass it along to our booster president, Mrs. Kaufman, who's going to explain this next activity.
Hey, Moxee Mustangs. Oh, I just love you guys. Okay, so we just got done with a really big chore, and we did so awesome. It was one of our top years. So you guys totally rock. And there is a lot of work that goes into it. Do you guys like being able to, well, what have we done with it? We've bought new PE equipment. We have bought field trips, come from the Booster Fundraiser, field day, popcorn parties. We got that popcorn popper. So a lot of work goes from you guys and to our chairs. We've got Melissa Worrell here, who is our fundraiser co-chair, and Denise isn't here today. But we want to give the book fair people, the fundraiser chairs, and the teacher appreciation, and everybody else who helped. Can you help me give them a round of applause? Okay, so I'm going to tell you who won individually, and then I'm going to let Miss Melissa here announce to you the big prize that I know you guys have been waiting for. So, our top, well, I'm going to start with the bottom actually. Hadley Fox, you were our 10th place person for fundraiser. We want to thank you with an Amazon gift card. Stella Ibarra. You can go back, yeah, thank you so much. Tegan Halverson and Aubrey Jones, all tied for 7th, 8th, and 9th. They sold 40 items each. Noah Kaufman got 6th place. Hayden Figueroa got 5th place with 48 items. Alexander Vargas got 4th place with 55 items. Uriah Kreider got 3rd place with 59 items. Carter Gamash Balakov got 2nd place with 83 items. Okay, I need you guys to drum roll for me, please. Okay, here we go. Emma Martin got 1st place with 209 items. That is a lot of help for our school, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who spread the word and helped us with it. But now, we get to do something pretty cool here. And it's something that Miss Melissa promised you guys, and I'm pretty excited to see. Do you want me to tell them what it is and you guys can do? Alright guys, so the top selling class
which means the class who sold the most items. Okay, so top selling class, so the class who sold the most items with 272 items sold, right? For the whole entire class, that's how many items they sold. They get to silly string Mr. Locke.
Okay, voices off. I know you guys are excited. I'm excited to see this too. All right, so we have, can I have Mrs. Morales' class line up right here? Actually, let's go ahead and line up over here, guys. Go ahead and line up right over here. All right, so how are we doing this? Each one gonna take a turn, or is everybody gonna circle him? Okay. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Mrs. Morales' class, come on up a little bit closer. Yeah. Come on up, come on up.
You guys need to all turn around so you cannot watch. Turn around.
All right, you guys ready? All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Alrighty, great job, Mr. Morales' class. Okay, if you have a silly string can, go ahead and bring it over to Mrs. Worrell, and she will throw it away. All right, Ms. Morales' class, go ahead and have a seat. Go ahead and have a seat. Okay, guys, hey, have a seat. Go have a seat. All right, so now, okay. All right, boys and girls, I'll wait until it's quiet. Okay, give me 5. Give me 5. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and say thank you to Mr. Lott for being such a good sport. Thank you, Mr. Lott. Alright, boys and girls. That concludes our assembly, so go ahead and turn and find your teacher, and they will dismiss you. Thank you, everyone.